when I went down and I realized this, so I went and talked to Ski Patrol and I said, hey, I actually know exactly where the wallet is. Now it's getting dark, there's a blizzard. Can we go up and grab it? And he's like, well, do you know the exact coordinate, or do you actually know where it is? I was like, yeah, I have the exact coordinates. I gave him the coordinates. He looked into it on his map. And he looked at me and he was like, are you sure you were here? I was like, yeah. He's like, that's an avalanche 2 zone. You can't go there. We can't go there, especially in a blizzard. There's no way. Good morning. How are you? Okay. So, around 8 months ago, I was in Japan. Skiing around the mountains, I was taking a much-needed vacation. I was skiing around in the mountains with my friend Moeko, and she was sort of staying on the trails. I was going off-piste. It was beautiful. Like, there's something about Japan, right, where it's just like, I don't know what it is. It's like, it's cinematic. I don't know, maybe that sounds weird. So off-piste, like, meaning like through the woods. Whoa. Like, you can't hear anybody. If I was stuck and I was screaming my head off, nobody would have heard me. I was like out in the middle of nowhere, and I absolutely loved that feeling. It was the last day I was there. My friend had gone back to Tokyo the day before. And what I realized was that I was like, I wanted to get one or two more runs in, so I went up and I was sort of going through the woods, and I realized, okay, I'm really hungry. I'm gonna go down, grab a bite to eat, and then I'm gonna head back to LA because I had to fly back for a job. And I look and I'm checking, and I got no wallet. I was like, oh my God, I must have lost it somewhere. You know, I must have lost it somewhere in the woods, but how the hell am I gonna know? Well, I had this thing called Tile. If you're not familiar, it's like a little GPS tracker. It's like a little white thing. And so I look at my phone and I realize that, actually, 1 second. Okay, so, okay, 1 second. This is Wallet version 2, last seen 177 days ago. So that's Tokyo. That's where the wallet is. When I went down and I realized this, so I went and talked to Ski Patrol and I said, hey, I actually know exactly where the wallet is. Now it's getting dark, there's a blizzard. Can we go up and grab it? And he's like, well, do you know the exact coordinate, or do you actually know where it is? I was like, yeah, I have the exact coordinates. I gave him the coordinates. He looked into it on his map, and he looked at me and he was like, are you sure you were here? I was like, yeah. He's like, that's an avalanche 2 zone. You can't go there. We can't go there, especially in a blizzard. There's no way. And so I was like, oh, so I exchanged info with him. His name was Shige. But, and I said, like, if you do find it between now and, like, the next year, I would love to have it because it's got everything in it, right? Like, I think it actually has my Social Security card in it, which is dangerous and stupid on my part. And so I was in a weird situation because I had a flight at, I think, 1 a.m. It was a red eye out of Narita to Los Angeles. And then I also had to figure out a way to actually get there, because being on a mountain where you have no money, no way to prove who you are, no place to stay, none of my friends were there, you know, no way to get off the mountain, because getting off the mountain alone cost 1,000 yen for the bus and then another whatever for the train back to Tokyo. But a guy I had met at a bar, so I was at this bar and they were doing some magic tricks. I went there, and my friend Moeko actually hooked me up, and she called him, and she was like, dude, Montana's in a bad situation. His name is Aki. He came out gave me 20,000 yen, which is roughly 200 US. That was just barely enough to get me all the way back from the bus to the train station to Tokyo to the other train to go to the airport. The only thing I did have was my passport, so luckily I did make it with about 45 minutes to spare. Since I returned, I said, one day I'm going to come back and I'm going to get that wallet. And now here we are, and I'm going to get that wallet. And so on its own, okay, yeah, grab the wallet, no problem. But something strange happened while over the past 8-9 months.
Bitcoin, then, let's face it, only really known by tech geeks and anti-government types, caught everyone's attention. It had a 1,000-point rally. It's back, and this time this rally feels different. Not only has Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies begun to gather mainstream acceptance, the underlying blockchain technology has captured the business world's attention too.
Cryptocurrency exploded, like in a really big way. Crypto has turned into this huge thing. Okay, now are you going to stay? Yes? Cryptocurrency exploded. And so along with that explosion, the price of Dogecoin had gone up. Now, I'm not into cryptocurrency, but from many years ago, I did have a bunch of Dogecoin. I had a wallet that had about 7 million Dogecoin in it, and I said, well, now is a great time to sell it. And I go in to log into my laptop, and wouldn't you know it, the password doesn't work. Well, I had just moved out of my place, and my mom had helped me. We had thrown out a ton of stuff, and I realized that one of the passwords for that Dogecoin wallet was in a bunch of paperwork because it was my old work password. So I had a piece of paper that had that, that password, so I could just use it. So no dice. So then I'm thinking, where else did I save it? And I realized that in my wallet, I had a micro USB stick. And that micro USB stick had a bunch of random photos on it. And I know for a fact that several of those photos have that work, like it would be like a project for work, right? Like, here's your project, and here's your login, and here's your email, like just basic stuff that they just gave out as protocol. I contacted work, and they said, oh yeah, we don't keep track of the passwords. Unless you have that piece of paper, you're fucked. So I'm kind of now in a situation where the stakes have been ratcheted up because that Dogecoin is worth like $25,000. So I already wanted the wallet regardless. Now I really want the wallet because we got real money on the line. I'm hoping Tile will save my ass here, but based on what I've seen of the woods and what my friends have told me, there's bears, there's poison ivy, mosquitoes. I don't think there's any poisonous insects, I hope. So now you know what's at stake, and now you know the whole story. Any crypto enthusiasts out there, if any of you guys can come forward and help me out, whether by sharing this video, or if anybody knows anybody in Japan that has some free time that wants to come into the woods with me and help me find a wallet, let me know, and I'm happy to share some of the profits with you. I'd rather have 50% of my wallet and actually get the wallet than nothing. I like having goals though, and this is it's an ambitious goal, but I think we can accomplish it. So now you know the story. Whether I find it or not, it's gonna be an adventure. And if there's one thing I do like, it's an adventure.